Okay, let's talk about MIDI and routing. All right, so we got the whole Sunday set set up. We have all the songs done. Now we need to make sure that they are going to the right place. You have to have the computer hooked up into the thing on the ground here. Casey knows what it's called. All right, so first thing is we're going to go here to Preferences. And in our audio setting, the audio output device where it's going to go out, right now it's in built-in, which means the speaker's on the laptop. But we need it to be hooked to go out to the R24 channel. All right. So now it's playing through this system and it's hooked. The computer's, obviously hooked up. All right. So we want everything that we hear, which I do like this actually. Okay. I'll highlight everything here. I'll start here, go to the bottom, close that. Shift, hold. Open that up. When you open one up, they all open up. So I'm going to change this from master, because master means it's everything. We're going to change it so it's just being put out through external outs. And then in our external outs, here are all the channels we have that we can route things to. I'm just going to put everything in 2 for right now, because that's the easiest one, and then collapse them all. And then scroll up to the top again. All right. So make sure everything's not highlighted anymore. First 2, which is the Metro from the guide, which is what we hear, that goes into channel 1. So we don't want the people hearing that. So go to our 2 songs. Route that in 1. Last song. Okay, this is how right here is where you mute something or turn it on. So we don't need, or turn it on or turn it off. You're not really muting it, you're turning it off. So we don't need drums because we'll have a drummer. We don't need bass. I use synth bass. We don't need an acoustic guitar. And I put the vocals in 1. That way, in case there's any random chance that it's on, only we hear it. But also, whenever we have a rehearsal, it's easy to start at a spot when we can hear back where the song is. So I leave that in 1. Next song, same thing. Don't need drums. Don't need bass. Don't need acoustic guitar. Don't need a piano. Put those in 1. Don't need drums. Bass, acoustic guitar, or piano. Choir goes in 1. Okay. Guitars will all go in 3. AG group, I know what that is. I'm going to turn you off there. Electric guitar, I'm going to go into 3. And then all percussion, which is like the shaker, all that stuff, that goes in 4. Percussion and loop goes in 4. Okay, here's an important thing. If the computer is not hooked in, okay, let me save that. If the computer is not running through here, if I go back to anything else, my built-in speakers or maybe a Bluetooth speaker or anything else, if it's not on this, these channels don't show up and you won't be able to route it. So it has to be here at the church, has to be hooked in, and that has to be on for this to be able to be routed. Once it's routed, it will stay that way, and then if I unplug it and take it home, it won't show it. But when I plug it back into the church, when I bring it back here and plug it in, it'll stay routed. So you should be good to go. But in the event that something's not right, this is where you see that if that's working or not. Okay, next part is MIDI keyboard. So right here and right here, you can assign anything. It's very easy with this. So I can push MIDI. I always do the same thing. For play, anything that's highlighted blue can be assigned. So anything down here, anything there can be assigned. So we're going to start play. That's going to be A flat. Stop. It's going to be E flat. And then I do our first 3 songs, C, D, E in order. So our first song here, and this song is Amazing Grace. I try to make sure we title them correctly. Okay, so I highlight that and I push C. As you can see over here, C2. All right, good. Then I can go here, the hourglass, firm foundation, wherever that starts. If it doesn't find it, zoom in, and you get more subdivisions. You can start it there. And that's going to be D. And then our third song, Praise the Hallelujah, will be E. And then for time, I will do the higher octave C, which is C3. So C2 starts the song, Amazing Grace, firm foundation. And then C3 is time. And that, remember I said before, that's in case I need more time as the spiritual connection is happening and I feel like we're getting too close to the song. Like if we're here, let's say we're here and I'm glancing and I see that's going to start, you can turn this off. And I can just push C and wait for a second. It'll go right back. MIDI or the triggers always go to the next line. So if it's playing right here and I push time, it's going to finish till it gets to the line, then scoot back. So sometimes when you push it, it doesn't move right at the right moment. That's why. Turn that off. Okay. Sometimes with MIDI, if you leave it, and this only happens every now and then, but sometimes the keys, even though they show that they are highlighted, when you push the key, it won't work. So you just have to click that and backspace, and then do it again, reset it, and it'll be fine. So that happens, and it's kind of annoying. Same thing with the routing. When the router itself is left on for a long time and there's no activity, sometimes it'll go numb, or you can't use it. So what you need to do is turn it off and turn it back on. That happened in a service one time, and we pushed play and you heard nothing, and the track was running but you couldn't hear anything. So you have to turn it off and turn it back on, and it resets itself, and then it's fine. So I don't know why it does that, and we're working on a way to fix that. But right now, if you close the laptop, that makes it dormant, and then it'll do that way. It'll cut off. Or if it's just sitting without being used for probably maybe an hour. So you want to make sure that is... I'd say whenever you first come to the keyboard, start and stop it just so you can hear the metronome and know that it's still active.